Welcome to the sew along for the Alise top for the Style So Me Fall Winter 2017 pattern collection. We're going to get started here with going over the pieces that you'll need to cut out. You will need one front neck frill, one neckband, the front of your shirt, two pieces for the back, two frills, the larger ones, and two sleeves. So we're going to get started on the front, where we're going to sew the darts on the front of our shirt, and then we are going to sew the back together at the center back seam, and then we're going to attach the front to the back. So let's walk through all of that together at the sewing machine. So I've got my darts outlined here in chalk. I can see it, you probably can't see it because the chalk is starting to fade, but I'm going to go ahead and match up the legs of my dart where I snipped them, and then I'm going to sew out to the end of my dart. And then I'm going to leave a trail here, and I'm going to tie a knot. Couple of times, 2 or 3 times, and I'm just basting here for the purpose of this tutorial. It just helps me to sew a little faster, but if you are working with a stretch fabric, you will want to sew your top and using a stretch stitch. That allows the top to fit snugly over your body without popping any stitches. So we've got our darts formed here, and on your shirt, on the dart legs, I want you to go ahead and press the excess of the dart down. You can also just finish finish the edge here of your dart with your serger, and that cuts off some of the bulk there. That's what that's what's done in your clothing for ready to wear, is that they go ahead and serge that loop there off, and then just press everything down. You can also just baste your dart down here to the edge if you would like as well. It's up to you, depends on how thick your fabric is. So let's move on to the back, and right sides facing, you want to baste together. We're going to baste from the top of our center back seam down to our notch. And then we're going to back stitch, and then we're going to sew a regular stitch down to the end of the shirt here on the back. So you want to baste. And then you will want to stop here, change your stitch length to whatever normal stitch length that you're using, and then continue to sew down to the end. And go ahead and press the seam allowance flat open. So now we're going to take our front to back at the side seam, and we're going to sew that together along the side. So grab your sleeves, and you're going to sew them right sides together down the long seam here. Okay, so we're going to turn our sleeve right side out, and press your seam allowance for the purpose of this tutorial. I'm not pressing any seam allowances because I just want to move quickly through this, but you want to press your seam allowance and then turn your sleeve right side out, and then grab your top, turn that right side out, and you're going to match the seam that you just sewed on your sleeve to the side seam and pin. now you see how your sleeve will be attached to the shirt. And so you're going to sew that seam that you just pinned there on the inside. Okay, so you're going to grab your other sleeve and repeat on the opposite side. Okay, so we're going to attach one of the frills. I have already attached one because I'm going to show you what it looks like finished. So this is the wrong side of my shirt, and this is my frill. This is the wrong side of my frill. So when I was pinning it and attaching it, I had everything with the wrong side up facing me, whereas you are going to attach the right side of your frill to the wrong side of your shirt. And on the pattern piece, it is marked back in front at the top of the frill so that you know which edge goes up against which side of the shirt. And I marked on the wrong side of my fabric an F for the front, which is the front side of my shirt, and a B on the back for the back side of my shirt. So this is what it looks like when it's sewn on. This is the frill. It comes all the way over the top of the sleeve into the back of the shirt. And so now we're going to attach one. Okay. So this is the wrong side of my frill. This is an F on my piece for the front, and I'm matching it up with the straight edge here on my shirt. So we are not going to stitch there, but we can just pin there to just keep everything intact. And so we're actually going to start sewing along this long edge here. And so just go around and pin. In your pinning, when you get to your sleeve, you're going to pin, you're going to match this notch that is at the center of your frill. You're going to match that to the notch on your sleeve. And then just keep coming around. And there you have the whole side pinned. It should look like that. And you should still, on the inside here, you should still be able to stick your hand through your sleeve. If you can't, then you didn't pin something right. Remember that you want to match the notch at the center of the frill to the notch on the remaining portion of your sleeve. And then we're going to stitch that straight across. So here's the top straight edge here. We are not going to sew across that. We're going to start on this long edge here. So after you've sewn your two frills, go ahead and finish the raw edges with your serger. When you've done that, we are going to turn the frill to the right side, and we're going to baste across this top edge here and across the front of the neckline. So we're basically going to attach this hanging end of the frill to the front of the shirt like this. And so we're going to do it on the other side now. We're going to flip over the frill and we're going to baste it across the straight edge here and overlapping the other frill that we just did. So we're going to baste here and here. So when you're done, the front of your shirt should look like this. And so now we're going to move on to the back. We're going to do the same thing. We are going to flip the frill over and baste it along here, this short edge here, and around the curve. Other side, flip over, baste it. And your back should look like this. Now your frills aren't actually overlapping here, it just may appear that way because you've still got your center back seam basted together, but we're going to unpick that in a later step. And so your frills should look like this. So going back to the front of your shirt, we're going to attach your front frill to the front of your shirt. So we're going to grab your smaller frill here. Wrong side of your frill to the right side of your shirt. We are going to stitch. Okay, so your front should look like this. You should have your two main frills here along the side and your shorter frill up here across the top. So now we need to attach the small shoulder area on the shirt. So we're going to do that right sides facing. So turn your top inside out. And so the area that we are going to be attaching is this short corner area here. It's about 1.5 inches on the back and 1.5 inches or so on the front. Now the edge of your front frill will want to lay across that. You want to include that in this stitching. So you're gonna have about 5 layers of fabric to stitch through here when you're matching up the shoulder. So we're just gonna stitch across there. And this is right sides facing. And when you do this, you're going to want to trim those seam allowances in layers to reduce that bulk. If your fabric doesn't fray, you can also go ahead and zoom across there with your serger to reduce that bulk as well. So we're going to do the other side. Okay. And so when you turn everything right side out, then you'll see the true shape of your shirt. So now we're going to attach the neckband to the top of the shirt. And what you can do this step before or after you attach the neckband. It's up to you. But if you would like, you can go ahead and press up 1/2 inch along the bottom edge of your neckband. And then we can go ahead and attach it to your neckline, or you can do it after you sew this. It truly doesn't matter. So you're just going to attach it all the way across, right sides facing. So after you've sewn in your neckband, you want to press that seam allowance up, all of it up. You can also trim those layers to reduce some of that bulk or finish it with your serger. But at the end, you're going to press that seam allowance up. And we are going to baste the back of your shirt again. So I'm basting together the neckband and the back of the shirt only. I'm moving my frills up out of the way. You're going to press open that seam allowance, get your zipper, open your zipper, place it face down, and then you're going to pin with the plastic stop, not the edge of your zipper tape, but the plastic stop. You're going to align that just below the middle of your neckband. So what you're going to do is open up your seam allowance and face down, you're going to pin your zipper tape to that seam allowance on one side, and then using your zipper foot, I'm using just a standard zipper foot, you'll go ahead and attach that zipper to the shirt. And then you'll repeat on the other side. So you're just going to pin your zipper tape to the other side. Make sure that it is even. And then you're going to attach it. You're going to stitch it to your shirt. And I have a very detailed tutorial on installing an invisible zipper that I'll make sure to put right here in the video. So if you need to click over and get a more detailed explanation and step by step, it is the exact same technique that you can use for this shirt. And if you do go over and watch that tutorial, once you install your zipper and finish off your neckband using that method, all you need to do is hem the bottom of your shirt and then you're done. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to snip off the excess zipper tape up here just above that plastic stop. Okay, and we can remove that basting stitch that we put down the back again. Okay, I ran out of bobbin thread. Okay, so to secure this, we're going to fold over, and your folded edge, your pressed edge should be up, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch. And again, if I'm moving a little fast for you, that tutorial will take it nice and slow, and it is the exact same method that you can use on this top. And so now you would just turn that over. You've got a nice good edge there. And from here, so remember you've pressed up the bottom edge of your neckband. It should be pressed. And you are going to hand stitch, do a slip stitch all the way around to secure that to your shirt and cover all of those raw edges of seam allowance there. So just go ahead and do that. And then the last step you're going to do is simply turn up your hem on the bottom of your shirt, and then that's it, you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and then show you the final picture, and then you're done with your shirt.